Welcome to SGDC. With your marvelous host, and that's it. End of my job. I don't know what to do after that. Okay, I will watch the thing. It's my last night. I just want to say, if you want to see a grown-up adult crying in front of everyone, come see me tomorrow, leaving at 12:30. Okay, first talk is... I think it's Remy. Is Remy? Oh, Remy is here. Applaud the frog. Hello, camarade.
Bonsoir. Hello.
Bonjour.
We are talking about... Where is the thing?
Do escape.
Ah,
Click and escape. Go on. Yes.
aha! Cool. Yeah, we're talking about the Midsummer games, not the game jam. How do I start this? Where's the thing to get started?
I don't know. Expanse 2.
Nah. Something like that, yeah. Okay, cool. Hello, this is Remy, this is Jordan. We are your hosts for Midsummer Games that start next Saturday. Not the day after tomorrow, but in a week, after the game jam. Yes. So maybe you have some questions. We will answer them now. Can you join Midsummer Games? Jordan here has made an app where you can register. We will share the link before the game jam. It's going to run for a week, where you can write your name, say if you have a phone or not, say if you have mobile data on your phone or not, and then consent for us to take pictures of you and use your pictures, because that's the whole thing. It's going to be about taking pictures of you guys. And it's important that you have internet data, because then you will go around Vekelsong and send stuff on your phone. Can you pick your team? Questions at the end. Fuck no! We're gonna make random teams. So then how do you know who you'll be working for? Working with. Right before the event starts on Saturday, we will give you your teams and the names of your teammates, and then you have to find them. We will give you a team ID that you can then use to log in on the app. You make sure that you do that on the phone that has internet. And then when everybody is ready, we press the button and the hunt starts, or everyone at the same time. And the game starts. And this is how it goes. You get a clue to get to a place somewhere in Vekelsong. So you have to figure out where you need to be. Then you your whole team physically go there. There, you find a puzzle, and that puzzle will give you a code that you have to enter on the app. Then the app will give you a prompt, and that's the picture you have to get, with your whole team on the picture. Then you send it. Oh yeah, something. So you will do something stupid at that place in Vekelsong. Then you send it through the app, and we receive it. And as soon as you send the picture, you get a clue for another place in Vekelsong, and you do that a couple of times. Meanwhile, we will be in the round room. We will receive your pictures. They will be displayed live on that screen as you send them. And we will also track the progress of every team. So then we can have fun while you are working. Then, as soon as you send the last one, the app will tell you that the hunt is over. You get back to Spelkollektivet. You enjoy a drink while you watch the pictures that everyone sent. When everyone is back, we can vote. We open a vote where you decide what are your favorite pictures, and you distribute the points. And that's how, we will open that for about an hour, and at the end, we reveal the score of each team, depending on how many votes they get. And finally, we reveal that all participants are actually the winners.
This is a spoiler.
Any questions?
This is a spoiler.
Johanna?
So, I guess not, but does everyone who's taking part have to have internet on their phone, or will there be enough that one person in the team?
Just one person in the team will be enough, and we will make sure, even if it's random, we will make sure that at least one person in each team has a phone
You
with
don't
internet.
have to have internet on your phone to participate.
No.
That's good.
At least it's going to be teams of 4 people. I didn't mention that. 3 or 4, depending on how many participants we have. So at least 25% of the participants should have
But
internet of their phone.
people shouldn't not sign up because they don't have internet on their phone.
True. That is a good thing. It's going to be on the... When you register, these first 2 things, do you have a phone and internet mobile data, these are optional. The only one that is you have to tick is to agree to be seen on the pictures. But yeah, you can definitely register without a phone and without the internet. Yes, it's a good question.
From Erin in chat, do you have to be attending the game jam to participate?
No, you can attend the games without attending the game jams, and you can attend the game jam without attending the games. Yeah. That's also a good question. Any other good questions? No? Then see you next week for the games.
Next time is next talk is Frank.
Jesus. Hello, everyone. I'm Franz, and I've been here for six weeks now, and this will be my first SGDC presentation. My name is Franz, and this is me. Very important. I used to wear face mask before Corona took that style away from me, and a little about me. I like all the games. My favorite game of all time, Dragon Age Origins, Halo 3 and Warcraft 3. Halo 3 and Warcraft 3 specifically because of custom games. We'll get back to that later. And the recent GOAT games for the past 10 years is Yakuza 0. If you play that game, buy it full price, not on sale. It deserves all your money. Dragon Ball FighterZ, best fighting game, and Honkai Star Rail, the best gacha game. So I have basically all genres of games here. And I'm very proud that I have 1,400 hours on Dragon Ball FighterZ. Okay, so why am I here? I have 0 dev experience. I'm completely new. I will be here, I'm expecting to be here for about a year. And after that, I will move back to Stockholm to continue my studies with future games. If I don't get in, maybe I'll stay another year. We'll see. So I basically have a blueprint of the game I want to make, and it's called Dark Deeds. Dark Deeds is a custom game in Warcraft 3. And custom games are basically games created by the community who makes their own game in their game. The original creator is a dude, nobody knows what he's doing now, but it's Weevil Man, not We Evil Man. I want to make sure that everybody knows that. And the creator of today is called Frisbee, and hopefully he is watching the stream right now because I invited him. He's basically doing the continuation of the game, and yeah. So what is Dark Deeds? It's a deception like RTS. It's I recommend that you play it with between 7 to 10 people, and you can play it at 6, but that's a recommendation. And what I will basically go through how the game mechanics of the game is and how I will make it. Oh shit. So I'm calling the project DDSO. As I said earlier, Dark Deeds will be the blueprint, and it will be a really faithful adaptation of the custom game. It's basically an evil versus good. In today's time, you call it imposters, and I will go through how the good guys play. So as the good guys, you started as a peasant, and you build a farm. You try to build a base, hopefully in a corner where you can like lock yourself in, so the evil cannot as easily get into your base and attack you. And this is how the base can look like after 10 minutes. You build a wife. You make children, male or female. There's a 50% chance. And the males can become a builder, males can become warriors, females become more versatile units such as archers or spies in that picture. And in the game you look for mushrooms, which you put into a cooking pot, and then you can sell them for a shit ton of money or use it for survivability. During the game you are always protected by Uther himself. He's not strong, but he can buy you time. Okay, so evil gameplay. As of right now, there are 9 different variants of evil. And I will not go through all of them, that's too much. But I will go through... a random player will be selected as evil. And nobody knows who that is, and he will remain anonymous until people figure out who he is. So this is a vampire. He is Dracula. What he will do the whole game is to hunt the other people, try to kill their farmer, and when he kills them, he makes them work for him, so they join the forces of evil. On the picture on the right, you can see that there's a corpse there, but there's also a unit. It's me basically killing the farmer, and he joins my side. And on the picture in the middle, you can see my servant behind Dracula about to attack a bush, because the bush is a player. He's camouflaged, trying to, but I know it's him. Every evil has their own weaknesses and strong suits. Dracula specifically, he takes damage when he's out during daytime. So how can a match look like? So this is basically how the map looks like at the start. And this is just a minimap view. And this is how it looks later on. The red are basically the evil guys, and the teal are all the surviving players. And here are 2 pretty decent pictures of how a battle can look like. So it's a lot of stuff happening. People are trying to figure out who's evil. They already know, so they're teaming up on me. And yeah, that's basically the game I want to make into a real game. Questions, please.
The forces of evil looked quite, not sneaky. So how do is there like a blending in phase and then a reveal and then a combat phase?
There is, everybody's a good guy at the start, and in Warcraft 3 there's a day and night cycle. When night comes, one person randomly will be selected and will become one of these 9. Dracula specifically, his specific ability is to turn into bats, and so he can basically get into your base very easily, and he put up some really good fights. He has the werewolf to the left. He can lunge over buildings to get in, but if he does that, it's a big commitment because he can get stuck. And yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a day and night cycle, because all of these evils work very differently, and every evil minion also works differently compared to the Dracula one, which I showed here. Yes?
From the chat, do you get to choose what evil you turn into?
No, it's all randomized. However, the picture I have up here, it's from the voting system. Frisbee added a voting system, but it still is randomized. It just increases the chances of that evil being played. Yes.
Do you want to add your own twist on the game, or just want to modernize it, or do you just use it to learn?
Modernize it. I just want to make the game official, and maybe I'll add more stuff to it afterwards. But I want it to be a very faithful adaptation of the custom game itself.
What sort of tools and languages do you work with for custom games for Warcraft?
Oh, I have no idea. Maybe if Frisbee is in the chat, maybe he could say. Frisbee, are you here? I don't know. I can see chat. But he knows that stuff. Anyone else? Okay, awesome, great.
Next talk is Cheyenne.
So I got through this together last minute in a way, so it's not as good as I would like it to be right now. But I thought I'd give a chance and talk about my fan game. A lot of people have asked about it, and I've talked with a lot of people about it too. And there's a lot to talk about it, so I thought I just might as well present to SGDC. So my game is called Secrets of Obsidian. It's a fan game based off my favorite band, Pal Royale, and specifically the graphic novel. The game takes place in the fictional city of Wismont on Obsidian Island, hence the name Secrets of Obsidian. And the main focus for this game is going to be kind of like a walking sim, but with the idea that you're walking around trying to find secrets, secret messages that unlock new areas and additional lore. As well as reading excerpts of the graphic novel as you walk through the city. So you're kind of getting a bit of a new story and the old story with this. The narrative of the game, since I want to bring a unique twist to this, because my original idea was to recreate the scenes from the graphic novel where you're walking through the city as Remington, the character. But I thought that there might be more of a fun thing to have a original narrative where you play as a young misfit trying to find the Underground, which is a secret revolution or organization created by the group called the Bastards in the graphic novel, which is the band. And they are set on overthrowing the rulers of the island, which is Lucille and I can't remember the name right now. Warhol. And the idea is that you are walking through the city trying to find the secret messages that are leading you to this organization. And as you go, you're reading from the original story as if you are this person reading on the people that came before you, how this person kind of walked the city. And that's kind of the main idea. And in the graphic novel, I did see that there actually was already something about secret messages being hidden around the novel, so that does help me a bit too. And right now, the production has been making this in Unreal Engine 5, which was back in the summertime, which was great, but my idea for the game was to make this very accessible for fans, so having this run on most people's computers does not probably bode well for Unreal Engine. So I remade it in Unity 6, made all the assets in it again, and recently I've added the storyboards, which are interactable, where you can kind of flip through different passages, made a gate with the animation opening, and behind that gate is this cathedral, which I'm in the process of building right now. It's going to be quite the task, but it's going to be a very fun thing. This cathedral will be the end result for the demo, where fans can walk in there and see this recreated scene from one of the music videos, which was in a similar cathedral, where it's going to be filled with fan art. I'm going to ask some fans if they would like to submit their fan art here to be featured in the game. make it more of a fan community kind of thing. My goals for the game have been kind of similar throughout, which is to create a fun and free game for fans to enjoy, while also making this a bit of an enjoyable game for anyone who plays it, because it's going to be on itch, maybe Steam. Right now, my current goal is to make a polished demo or kind of an early access version of the game. So that way, I'm going to make it very solid and have most of the game features in this demo. And then if it goes well, if the fans and hopefully the band likes it, I might expand upon it and like make the bigger version of the city and expand and make more levels as well. Which leads my second thing where I would bring this to the band, because I did talk to them. Actually, I'll get to that. Right now, I'm looking for some game dev, like a game dev to work with. Maybe someone that does know some like Unity programming, because I would like to work with someone to polish up the game mechanics and implement some new ones. Also, working solo dev on a game kind of sucks. I'd like to work on with someone and get some guidance and wisdom as well, since it is the ordeal. Now to the fun part. I have met the band a couple times through VIP. I met them back in February recently, and I mentioned the game to them. They loved it. They would like a demo of it the demo or the game when it's done. So my goal is to have this demo out, give it to them, and see if maybe build some kind of working relationship with the band. If we want to maybe make this like a collaborative effort. The image in like the bottom corner is me pitching it to them, and they were super excited. They're like, "Oh hell yeah, sweet!" And then here's some pictures from concerts, because they are amazing. They're fun. I'm also meeting the co-creator of the graphic novels later this month or early next month. She's going to tour me around Visby and give me some nice details and ideas for the game, possibly. So, yippee! Any questions? V.
What kind of music do they make?
They're kind of everywhere. It's mainly rock, kind of like alternative rock. They call themselves art punk, so pretty fun. Yes.
Yeah, now that you've met the band,
Mm-hmm.
are you now able to use the official music? Because you previously mentioned that you cannot use like their music because it's like copyrighted, but if they're like in on it, then it's like.
They aren't exactly that in on it. They're like, I haven't gotten like super close contact with them, but since I do know I'm like a friend of their friend, I might ask her like, hey.
Yeah, but I also
Yeah.
think, like if they are aware of the project and they're like, oh, that's super cool, would they really make an issue of you like putting in their music in their own fan project?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking about. I'm not sure how well their record label would bode well with it. That's my biggest worry. Like, they seem like they want as much involvement with the fans as possible. Like, they work with fans a lot on different projects, but it's like their record label it's a good one, but also they are very like weird with like even YouTube like watches and stuff. Yeah, so they're kind of a bit strict, and I'm kind of scared of them. Any more questions? You back.
Yes. So, what's the specific audience of the game? The fans of the band, video game players, or is it just strictly the overlap? Like, are you trying
It's
to get like non-game players who are fans of the band potentially interested in playing?
yeah. Right now, it's mainly for the fans. It's kind of like because the fan base is extremely dedicated, and there's a lot of them. And I'm hoping that like this could be kind of like a community effort. I'm trying to get more fans to be part of it and like work with me a little bit, because it's just like it's a fun thing for I think a lot of people can get involved with. It would be great if like people on itch or Steam like find the game and are like, oh wow, this is interesting, and then end up finding the band from that. So it's kind of like mainly for the fans, but if other people find it, that's wonderful. So yeah. Any more questions? No? Okay. Yay.
Hello. Where am I here? So I presented a few weeks ago. Since then, I've worked lots on my game behind the scenes, kind of. I always have like pathfinding and queuing is like an ongoing project, but I've also had like some things like I finally have access to my own game on the Steam client. So thank you, James, for giving me access. I've added some small things like you can now see when you're playing on Discord. You can see when you're building a park and what the name of the park is. So I'm quite happy with that. And I changed just all the screenshots and like the capsules on the Steam page. Yeah, and another thing I can show off is a new build. Because one visible thing that I added is obstacle courses. So you can place those on top of pools, and then so I'll have one prepared. So you can just build pools, and then now you have the ability to add items. And let's just open the pool. And then it's still very scuffed in a few areas, so if you see those things, just think about a better tomorrow. So we'll see. Just maybe some more. So like they can enter the pool or the obstacle course from the side, and then like depending on how well balanced they are, they might wobble a bit. Let's see if this person. Oh, she's fine. And also, yeah, if swimmers want to go under the obstacle course objects, they will like dolphin their way across. And then when they're done with the course, they will just jump back in the water and just continue swimming. But I was hoping someone would go on the slide. Let's add some more people. And maybe hope. No! Also, they can fall if they're like very bad at wobbling, like, and then they jump off. Please go on the slide. Yes. I have no animation for this yet, but then they whee. Yes. So that's what I've been working on. Also, I have a new park on the main menu. I think it looks kind of pretty. Yeah, if you're interested in this game, you can, scan this QR code and then join the Discord or wishlist it on Steam. And are there any questions? Yes. Oh, yeah, I forgot to introduce, I guess. So Aquamundo is a water park tycoon game, a bit similar to Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2, but then instead of theme parks, yeah, it's water park with pools and slides. Yeah. Anything else? Yes, Flan? That's a good idea, because you'll already be able to like pick them up, so I could just have another feature, like you can poke them in the water. Also, normally when two come from a different side, they'll like try to like fight it out, but like not as complicated as it sounds. Just one of them has to fall in the water, and yeah, I want to make it a bit fun. Yes. I know, just the colors I like, I guess. But also like all these color palettes, like I have a randomized button, so I just click, and then like there's always like some different textures and some different colors, and just keep clicking until I find something I like. Yes.
Because you simulate so many mobs, so many people, like how do you handle all the like pathing decisions?
Well, like right now the queuing is still like plain old A-star, but I want to make it like flow fields, which make it easier to like you have one goal to go to, and then everyone just has to follow that field rather than do their own calculations. Right now it's just the basics. Like it works for now, so I'm keeping it until it becomes a problem, and then I'll change it to something better. Yeah. Yes, Johanna? Yes, those are all different items that you place, and then they'll just connect when they fit next to each other, and then the guests will just find their own way to go across. Yeah. I think that's all. But I'm also blind.
Question over here.
Yes.
How much work was it to get the Discord integration working?
It was extremely easy. I was very surprised how quickly I got that set up. Like I think for Unity and Godot, they like specifically pages for that on the documentation for Discord. So yeah, it was very easy. Yes, go sure.
Do you plan to play all the obstacles in the squares that you're going to water, or are they just going to be static?
Sorry.
Do you plan to play with buoyancy?
Oh yes, yeah.
Floating platforms?
Just to make it a bit more like alive. Yeah. Like once I update the water, which will have like some like waviness to it, then also the items will also run all the way in the back.
So you were inspired by roller aspects of those games that you not very well realize that you want to better emphasize on.
Well, not really emphasize, but I just want to bring it to like modern standards, I guess. Like the way you edit the terrain or the way you make color palettes and stuff. And also the addition of like having curves to paths into pools. Well, before it was just like really constrained to the grid. Now I want to let loose, or like let go of that a little bit, but still stay true to the original idea, I guess. Was that all? Okay. Thank you.
Next talk is Shu.
Hello. Yeah, my name's Shu. I released a game called I'm Gonna Let You Cook 5 days ago as part of Wholesome Direct, and I just kind of wanted to share the stats from these past 5 days and just kind of be transparent and hopefully, hopefully share kind of some of the stuff that I've learned. Like I said, we released 5 days ago as part of Wholesome Direct. I've been working on it with Yelda. I started on the project last September. Yelda hopped on in like January, and then we also had some help from Marika and from Nico in the house. My basic marketing plan was basically the main objective was to make a game that I think could do well on Steam. So it's a kind of a roguelike deck builder, but with a unique twist where you're building decks of ingredients that you use to make weird omelets. Basically my marketing entirely hinged on I applied to a bunch of festivals and I somehow got into Wholesome Direct, and they told me we'll give you 60 seconds if you do a surprise launch on the day of the direct. Otherwise, I only would have had 15 seconds. I definitely would not recommend doing a surprise launch, but for this situation, it made total sense. And then kind of right before, 1 week before, I emailed 400 streamers, giving them a key for themselves and 3 to do for giveaways for their community. And I had some responses from that. I think that was good. And then also I wanted to bundle with 3 games that were kind of like competitors to mine. This was the email template I used. Neil helped me set up a way to kind of automatically generate these, and basically I had this big spreadsheet where I manually went through Twitch and found streamers that were somewhat relevant that had played. For example, in this one, they had played this game Cook Serve Delicious too. This I think was good. I added this little link thing on the Steam key. If you click that, it immediately goes to the page where you input a Steam key, so it kind of reduces the friction to them adding it to their library. I think this was a good use of time. I got 3 bundles with games that I very much like and are similar, like they're targeting similar games. Ballionaire was the first one, and basically I got in touch with them because I specifically shouted them and Luck Be a Landlord out on my Steam page, saying that they were games that inspired I'm Gonna Let You Cook. So I shouted them out, and then they they tweeted at me, and we kind of became friends. He got me in touch with some publishers and stuff. He's a very nice guy. Luck Be a Landlord, dude, I just cold emailed him like at the same time I was emailing these streamers and said, hey, can we do a bundle? And he said, yeah, sure, here's all the assets. So that was nice. And then the Dungeon Crawler devs, Stray Fawn Studios, they are amazing. I had cold emailed them asking if they were interested in publishing. It took them a while to get back to me, and by then, when we actually met, it was like a month until I was going to launch anyways, so there was no time for them to actually consider that. But I asked if they'd be willing to do a bundle, and they said yes. And they also offered to do a giveaway in their server. And I just want to touch on one of the reasons I really wanted to do bundles is this lower right screenshot. This shows up on the Dungeon Crawler Steam page. So people that go to their page basically see I'm Gonna Let You Cook in a spot where normally they wouldn't. So I would definitely recommend, if you can bundle with other games, you should. You can have every game can have 3 bundles pinned on their page, but you can have, I think, an infinite amount. The Dungeon Crawler giveaway was amazing. Basically, this is the post they had. Basically just saying, hey, like, to receive one of these keys, you have to react to this and join their Discord. And they said, we'll give away 3 keys, but we'll give away 2 more if 300 people join their server. So yeah, my server had 44 people in it. Now it has 538 people in it. It was actually insane, like the flood of people coming in on launch date. Is that right, 5 minutes? All right. Okay, that was 4 minutes? Okay, all right, so there was coverage. These are simulated game comparisons. Now I'm going to get into sales. These were the sales. So almost 1,000 copies. You could be number 1,000. Not actually, but you could be. I'm fine with these sales. I find them pretty acceptable. So yeah, close around 6,000 gross revenue, and then I'll get 70% of that. Almost 1,000 people have bought the game, so that's amazing. You can see at the bottom, the bundles are about 1/3 of the sales are from people buying the bundles, so they get a little discount. And then, I just wanted to show the wish lists. I had 2,000 wish lists going into Wholesome Direct, which I was very disappointed in. You can see some spikes here from various events. Then Wholesome Direct happened, and the scale went crazy because we went from 400 being the peak here to 4,000. That was amazing. I now am happy to say that we're at 10,000 wish lists. A week ago we were at 2,000, so that's pretty sweet. And then the last thing I want to talk about is reviews. We currently have 44 reviews, 100% positive, so that's awesome. These are some of my favorite ones here. Too much text to read, but there's some very funny ones, especially this one in the middle. 2 bros made a killer indie game 5 feet apart because they're not gay. I don't know why they were compelled to say that, but I love it. And then last thing, I just want to talk about why our reviews are so positive. The game's good. There's enough content. It's a unique twist on a genre that I think Steam users love. I'm very responsive to everything. Like, there's some people that specifically call out, oh, the devs are like really nice in Discord and stuff. We're already putting out patches. We put our faces on everything. Like I wanted to show on the right here. We put our faces, like you don't even have to expand the thing to see that we are just a couple dudes making this game. It's early access, so people are more forgiving. And then we also do this cool thing where when players beat the game on the highest difficulty, a little pop-up comes up where they can join the Discord and get a special role. And then there's a channel in there where I specifically ask people to leave reviews. Luca from who was here earlier gave me that tip, and it's been very helpful. And the last point is, please help us hit very positive. We only need 6 more positive reviews to get like that threshold. And if we get to 50 reviews, Yelda gets some new shoes, and he needs them desperately. Any questions? Yeah.
Did you ever consider giving Yelda a percentage cut instead of like 70% of you and shoes?
We agreed that just shoes would be an acceptable compensation. Yeah.
You cannot make shoes for him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess I should. Yeah. V?
What kind of shoes?
Yeah. Well, I mean, What kind of shoes? It's your choice.
We'll run this one back, but and you first.
You were first.
Yeah. Sorry. In hindsight, how did you feel about the Wholesome Direct?
Did it affect it? How much did it give?
Yeah, I mean, without the Wholesome Direct, I think this would have been a flop. Like, I'm still not very happy with the numbers. Like my optimistic internal target is I want to hit 100,000 dollars. And yeah, I think we could probably hit half that still at least. But yeah, we'll see. But no, without Wholesome Direct, I think this probably would have been a flop, especially going in with only 2,000 wish lists, and then like clearly just from the getting 4,000 wish lists in a day, and then still like we're still getting a few hundred a day. So that was definitely worth it, and it also helped very much for me to have that like hard deadline of there was no choice for me to delay the game. I definitely probably would have delayed the game or at least considered it. But it's like, yeah, for this event, I had to be in it. And I got so many people reaching out and saying, like, I saw your game because of this event, because I was watching it. And we got, like, a PC Gamer article and stuff like that. So, no, I'm definitely very happy with it. I don't know if it's the smartest choice for every game to, like, especially doing a surprise launch like that. But for this, like, there was so little for me to lose that it was worth trying and seeing how it went. And I'm happy with it. Yep.
If we get to very positive, can we have a shoes DLC?
I'm very much open to adding all kinds of weird things to the game. So yeah, we could throw a shoe on the omelet. Yeah, Matteo?
What do you think went wrong in like getting people interested in like wish listing the game?
I think the biggest thing is that I put really no effort into marketing until like 2 weeks before the launch. That is the biggest problem. And part of that is I don't really believe in, like, I don't think it's a good use of my time to work, like, to market and, like, do social media posts specifically. Like, I think my time is better spent making the game. And my hope is that if you make a good enough game that the Steam algorithm can kind of carry you. And, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's yet to be seen whether that's actually, like, a valid strategy for me. But, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it's more so lack of effort, I would say. And also that's why I think if you don't have an existing audience or like a clear like path to marketing, like I think latching on to other people's audiences as much as possible is very important. Like that's why like with the Dungeon Crawler devs, I'm sure that like without latching on to their audience, my sales probably would have been pathetic. Without latching on to the Wholesome Direct audience, I think I would have been in trouble as well. So that's where I'm approaching. I'm trying to latch on to other people's audiences so that way I can build my own. And yeah, with all the reviews and the activity in the Discord, I feel quite confident that I'm doing that. Yeah, back there.
Just for the record, maybe you told this in prior presentations, or maybe you did it during this one, but how long did you work on the game?
So since September, so 9 months about.
Okay.
Yeah, Erasmus?
You mentioned strategies to help you game visibility, like bundling and putting in the Wholesome Direct. Were there any strategies you tried that would just not work, that like petered out, like would steer clear of?
I mean, I can't think of anything off the top. Like I feel like the things that I did choose to invest time in on the marketing side were all like pretty worth it. Yeah, I mean, I spent some time like talking to publishers and trying to pitch them, but even that was a very valuable experience. Just kind of understanding like what publishers are looking for and like helping me understand like how do I sell my game to a particular audience. Yeah, and it led to the stuff with Dungeon Crawler. So yeah. All right, thank you very much.
Next talk is Art maybe. Don't know who it is.
No, don't ignore me. It wouldn't let me send it to it earlier. Yes, I could just. One second. It still didn't like it. Okay. All right. Anywho.
Did you want to just see on your side and...
Yeah, I think I just DM'd it. There we go. Hey. Anyway, hello. My name is Art. It is short for Arthur, but feel like I'm in trouble if people say my full name. Nope. Thank you. Yes, I use he, him, they, them pronouns. I'm a gameplay programmer by trade, but now I am getting away from that and focusing more on being a weird solo indie dev. I am an artist because I feel like everyone can be when people ask me that, even though I just mostly draw silly little guys. But yeah. Where I'm from, I am from Seattle up in the western United States. I moved around a bit. I went to school there at the DigiPen Institute of Technology for computer science. I got a degree there with essentially equivalents of minors in game design, so I'm pretty confident on the game design aspects. I'm very involved in the indie scene in Seattle, primarily as an organizer and event runner. Notably ran Global Game Jam for Seattle Indies in the Seattle area for the last 3 years. I guess we learned that today. I didn't realize that. But and we had the largest in-person site for the United States, or for the North America, and second in the world, only second to Brazil. So call it shout out to them, with like over 300 people jamming for Global Game Jam. So I'm a big fan of those. My big game that I've made is a 3D platformer called Basil and the Isles of Spice. That was my junior and senior game at DigiPen. This is up on Steam and has almost 100 positive reviews, which is kind of fun. But it got nominated. We were second place last year for the Unity Awards for student projects, so that was something that's neat. I make a lot of Game Jam games. I make a lot of really silly ones. I think I have I'm getting close to 50 projects on itch right now. They're mostly small and silly, and will continue to make them. The one I am currently working on that I should be finished right before this Game Jam starts next week is for the Game Poem Zine, or at least we're hoping it gets selected for that. Game poems being games that aren't really games but can do stuff. So this one's about walking around this really abstract landscape and drawing things that will then populate within it. So I hope to put links to that soon when I'm done with it. I am working with an artist on this, but I made those drawings, so there you go. Games that I like weird games. These are some of my recent favorites that I just thought off the top of my head, and I'm still getting through Deltarune, so don't spoil anything. But yeah, I'd love to talk about any weird niche games you know, or want to play literally any game. I'm always down to get. I'm a sponge. I just want to know more about weird games, weird little games. And a fun fact: before I started game developing, I was a helicopter paramedic. That's me dangling on that thing there. So. That's it. That's me. It's lovely to meet everybody, and I'm planning on being here the rest of the year. So, yes.
What made you first pursue this career, and what made you change it?
So, game jams. Game jams are a disease, and they get into your brain, and you can't leave. I was doing school in Southern Texas, and I had read a book on doing Unity dev, and thought I could join a game jam that was local there, and it was very much like this community. People are just like helped me along, taught myself programming over like a course of maybe like 2 or 3 years. Had a prototype with some friends that just got picked up for a convention, and we ended up showing at Penny Arcade South for a bit, and that's when I was doomed. Then I was like, I guess I need to go do that now, and that's what happened.
But what about your career beforehand, like when you did this?
Oh, I did this out of high school, thinking this was associated with the U.S. military, which paid for college. So, but I did get to do a lot of cool stuff. That particular picture is taken in Honduras. I did a lot of search and rescue work there for 2 years. But yeah, I've got a lot of really random other jobs that I've done. So feel free to grill me on that later. But, yes.
How much do you love game design?
Maybe I unfortunately had a very large burnout with them at the end of college because college was a little too much for me to tack on stuff. But now I have been graduated over a year, and I don't know if you would call it recovering or going into relapse. But I'm super duper excited for this game jam coming up. It's in-person jams are few and far between nowadays, but yeah. Yes.
I'm sorry in advance, this was inflicted on me last week. Favorite game you think no one's heard of?
I always think that every game I see, everybody must know about it because it's super amazing, right? But I guess if you haven't played, I guess just from this list, I don't think many people have heard of Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. It's a good game. It is a fantastic game that has no right to make me fill out 13 pages of notebook paper trying to figure out this gosh darn thing. But yeah, if you like puzzle games even a tiny bit, please give that one a try.
Do you have any plans to make any silly games for this game jam?
I think every game I make is a little silly. I have a hard time making serious games. Or I think I saw yours first.
Yes, I forgot if you mentioned this already, but how long are you staying?
Right now, my visa will get me into August, but I'm planning on trying to get there to December. So we'll see what happens. but that's my plan. Yes.
Then I go the opposite direction. What is your favorite very mainstream game that everybody has played? Like a game that is definitely not weird.
Yeah. Ooh, God. I think that some of my favorite games, like there are a good chunk of really mainstream games that do one weird thing, but nobody like remembers it or something like. I think Undertale and Deltarune are very popular, but they're very weird. But I also think, like I would say my favorite mainstream game is like Legends of Zelda. Like Tears of the Kingdom, I think is very, very probably up there, but I think it also is quite weird at times. So it's hard to escape. But yeah. Oh, no, let's move back.
Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom?
I think Tears of the Kingdom fixed a lot of problems with Breath of the Wild. For me personally, I know there's opinions, and it's not a perfect game. I won't defend that, but.
Fellow weird games enjoyer here. Have I written off? And I also played Dream Barbecue.
Yes, those are all fantastic.
No other games on that list. I've played no other games on that list.
Well, you should.
The joke is I have Deltarune open right now. Anyway.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite things about like weird games?
I think games often, as like an artistic medium, get a little bit shoved into, you have to make a game that has a goal. You have to make a game that has this amount of progression, and especially with game academics, you get these kind of like, here are games that were successful and here's things that they did, so you have to do that. I think weird games take it on their head, or like spin on its head, try to take more of a free-form experience with it. I know one of the first things that comes to my mind is games like the Stanley Parable. Lots and lots of articles being like, that's not a game, you just go and talk to things. Because there is like this rote definition of what a game should be, and I think weird games really make people
I think
think
what the
that's
Stanley Parable especially is defined more by its relationship between the player and the game. Like,
Yeah.
it could not exist in another medium because it being interactive is so fundamental to the experience.
Yes.
Not a question.
Yeah.
The art is created through...
We can talk later, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, okay. I think I've taken a good chunk of time, so. All right. Well, thank you, and I hope to see everybody in like 5 minutes, in 5 seconds.
Next is Axel.
Well, you just put all the Seattle people together on purpose. Are there more? Let's see if my videos work this week. Go away, bye. I will start a build a spell. Hi, I'm still Axel. I figure as long as I'm here, I should probably provide some updates on what I'm doing and how it's going and all that. Art, we should talk later. I'm also based in Seattle. If Sweden doesn't claim you, then would love to see you that side. So, quick recap in case you forgot in a week. I'm making a space combat sim for fun. It's a hobby kind of Game Jam plus portfolio thingy. I gave it a new name because I like this one more. It's inspired by some personal favorites, and I have written down a schedule. You will notice it has shifted a little because I decided 1 month of prototyping, but also game jamming, but also doing my day job wasn't enough. So we're slipping a little. Here's what it was like last week. Hopefully we're all familiar, but recap. You fly around. You have asteroids and little rings you can fly through. You can drift and whatnot. And then I think I want to do this a little out of order. So, yep, thank you. Before we do this week, some progress. What I've done. This week I said, okay, I want to focus on like weapons and shooting and pew pew things. So we got through like weapons, projectiles, hull damage, kind of the basic things, targets, health. Threw in a bit of juice, which was so worth it. And I have a new online collaborator who might be on here, might not. We'll see. They go by Stormreach on Discord. They're great. We met on a freelancer forum. And we're kind of doing this parallel prototyping thing where we're sharing a code base, but kind of just doing our own thing so we don't have to coordinate too much. So far it's going really well. I look forward to merging some of their changes. They're doing AI stuff because I want to do AI. Next week is Midsummer Game Jam, so I expect to make no progress. But the week after next, I'm hoping to do some more fun things with like health and shields, and hopefully get some like little turrets to shoot back at you. That would be cool. Also, I'm missing sound. I need any kind of sound in my game, so that's the other thing I want to do. So here's what it looks like this week. Yeah, so I'm having fun with it. Credit to Stormreach for the ship model. That's their doing. I did not take the time to make proper art. And I think it looks great. But yeah, so now you can blow little holes in the racetrack, and it looks somewhat reasonable. But yeah, I'm generally really happy with the progress, especially since I am back at my day job and this is all kind of like evening and weekend work. Also want to note, if you are an artist and you think this looks cool but could look better, hit me up. I would love to work with any of you wonderful, talented people on doing some art and stuff for this. It's totally a hobby project. If we end up seeing a red cent from it, we'll find a way to split it, but I don't have real commercial plans for this. It's just something I want to put out in a reasonable time frame. Thank you. Questions? Oh.
The drift, how does the drift work? Does it have friction?
Yeah, so there's no friction. It basically, whenever you hold down drift, your velocity stops updating. So you just go in the direction you've been going at the speed you've been going. We could, and then there's like a little bit of a hidden strafe mechanic where you can slide back and forth, up and down. but honestly, it's pretty broken and needs to be rebuilt.
Question from the chat. Do you have a list of VFX things you need?
A list of VFX things I need. Oh God, I'm more of a beggar than a chooser, so I think any. So at top of mind, it would be beyond the obvious, like, you know, it would be cool to have 3D models for ships and asteroids and turrets and whatnot. That's more 3D modeling. For VFX in particular, particle effects for the projectiles, the impacts, I would love to get some volumetric fog in there and have kind of like crepuscular rays going on. I think that does really well in space games. Those would be kind of my top picks. Oh, and then like little wing trails on the ships. I tried to implement that and failed miserably. So yeah, I could use some help with that. What else? All right, sick. Bonus slide. Erasmus asked me favorite games no one's heard of, and I said I'll get back to you next week. So I'm getting back to you next week. However, it's tough to pick a game no one's heard of because someone's always heard of it. So I picked 3, hoping that at least one of these you in particular haven't heard of, whoever you are. House of the Dying Sun, one of the space games I'm inspired by. It's just like a rock solid space combat shooter that was put out by a Bungie developer like a decade ago at this point. But it sounds like everyone kind of just like forgot about it. I think it has like fantastic controls. It's a small tight game with a linear story, the kind that like doesn't make a ton of waves, but I think it's sick, and it innovated on all the space games in my youth, like TIE Fighter and stuff like that I really loved, so now I love it. Up 2, if you haven't played Chance of Sonar, it's a puzzle game where you decipher languages in the Tower of Babel. It slaps. If you like puzzle games at all, highly recommend. And then Sailwind, this one is my like trump card of like, if you've heard of these other ones, I bet you haven't heard of Sailwind. It is an immersive sim sailboat simulator. It is a lot of sitting on the ocean, looking at the horizon, trying to figure out where you are and catching fish and kind of like fucking with the jib a little. I love it. It's like watching paint dry. It's gotten me through a couple depressions. But I don't play it usually because it's very boring. But if you're feeling really low and want to just plug in a podcast and figure out your latitude with a sextant, it's great. The end.
There was one in the chat saying they know all of these games.
No. That's my wife.
Do you want us to vote on who knows which game?
Yeah. Is there anyone else who knows all of these? Yes. All right. That's a win in this house. All right. Cool.
Next talk is Antonio.
Oh shit. Am I to, do I need... Whoo, presentation time. Oh shit. Hey, let's get on with it. So yeah, it's going to be like a 2 weeks overdue presentation. I have been seeing you guys already here for like 14 days. Yeah, I'm basically came up here. I want to show off a little bit of my game. We're going to get to that point in the presentation. Let's talk a little bit about me first, so you guys know, like, you know, some people haven't met me, new people who has arrived. So I would describe myself as a Unity programmer. I am actively searching for a job everywhere, anyhow, everywhere, any day. Let's run a little quick background check on me. Where did I come from? I came from all the way up in the capital city of Sweden that is called Stockholm in other words. I was born and raised there. After high school, I went to study some game design and programming all the way in Gotland. I don't know if you can see my cursor here, but I could point to the little island. Does it show?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, cool. Lovely town, this town here, like called Visby, super popular tourist place. Also, like the best hamburgers in Sweden, I promise you that. After those 3 years over there, I returned to Stockholm to do some further programming studies in a place called Future Games. Really cool place for getting some vocational education. That school helped me land a place in Thunderful later on, where I was working on as a junior programmer. And I sort of had to move 5-7 hours all the way down here, where my workplace was, and then return home at the end of the day back to Stockholm. No, I just moved all the way to Karlshamn. Yeah, and there I've been living since 2021. And unfortunately, Thunderful was struck, one of the industry companies struck by the industry-wide layoffs. So unfortunately, I got also laid off, which is why I'm actively searching. Did I mention that? I'm searching for a job. Just saying, I'm very available. This is my portfolio. Does this work like this? Okay, cool. This thing I wrote myself, kinda, in HTML5 and CSS. This is my game I worked on as one in the industry called Steamward Build. I hope this thing can play with. Wait, this isn't the game. What is this?
That was low.
It says 1 minute ad. We're not gonna go through this.
I got sorry. Before I'ma keep you on your toes with how low I'm about to go.
Yeah, basically the whole game. I did some feature implementation. Was conveyor belts, bumblebees, AI. Oh, good times. I learned a lot. It was really cool. I'm trying to keep this short so we can't see the whole video. I'm sorry, guys. Here are some student projects I made before Thunderful. I did some sort of Racer Unreal Engine survival horror, my favorite project. 2D platformer, Tetris and Ice Climbers was the idea here, and I think this is pretty cool. There's some sort of cool arena party brawler thing, which is really, it still holds up. I think this is one of my favorite projects, because we did exhibitions on this thing, even build a whole arcade cabinet and all. Cool shit. This is some RPG battle prototype / Street Fighter. Okay, whatever. This is a puzzle action game, and this is a picture of me. And I am looking for work, it says. Did I say that? Anyways. What I didn't include in the portfolio, however, was my first game. This is I shoot 'em up by May 2015, just before beginning studies in game design, and this is basically something I did in Flash, published to the web. Is it gonna? Yeah, Flash, am I right? Yes! This guy gets it. All right, is it gonna play without cringe music? Oh, good. We can still play Flash games today. It's gonna just load a little bit. Yeah. It's an old game. What can I say? We're gonna skip this. It's just there on the web. I just wanted to show you that this is a couple of pictures I made. No, yeah, I made that belongs to the game. Is what I meant to say. What am I working on today, though? This is the beef of the presentation. We're getting finally down to it. I'm working on the sequel. It's 5 minutes already. No way. Okay. This is gonna be really quick because I have no videos of this. This is gonna be pictures. Okay, this is the sequel. It's gonna be bigger, better. With story mode, multiplayer. Wait, that's not new. Multiplayer was in the first game as well. This is how it kind of looks like. I don't have videos of it. It was gonna be this huge thing. I didn't have time. I'm sorry. But hey, you know what? There's a playtest of this shoot 'em up tomorrow, and I am expecting all of you to come here and play it. I already like had this thing play tested last week and got lovely feedback such as stuck in a cave full of raccoons. So if you guys like raccoons, obviously you should come by tomorrow. Else, if it's not your thing, take it up with all of these guys up here. Yeah, this is like the last slide. This is like some stuff I'm very much into. Questions. Bam. Yes, Cheyenne.
I see you're the Doctor Who. Who's your favorite Doctor?
Favorite Doctor? Well, he's there on the screen, I think.
Oh, he Doctor Who. Okay.
The third one, yeah.
Solid Doctor.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah, there was.
You cannot possibly proclaim that Gotland has the best burger without saying what the burger thing is called.
Burger King. What did you say?
Did you say it was the best burgers in Gotland?
Oh yeah. Okay, so there is this place called Mel's Diner over in Gotland. I promise you, they do have the best burgers in entire country. Like it's like this 50s American diner themed thing, and they have like these beef burgers, juiciest burgers I ever tasted. Really cool place. No more questions. All right, thank you.
Next talk, Mauricio Castillo.
And me. And me. Well, we're both doing it. We'll be quick. So it's not Whodunit 2. I'm sorry. I don't know what to title these. I have to do something random.
It's a musical.
Whodunit is an investigation visual novel. Okay.
Yay.
So what we've been doing this week?
We've been doing a lot of fixes. Well, this is a progress update. We've been doing a lot of big fixes. So we did a play test, and that's our list of like, okay, things we need to do, and then yellow is the stuff we fixed so far. And yeah, we like to do those every once in a while because you always miss something, right?
We've been doing lots of expressions. I can't possibly show all of them because there's so many. These guys got a lot of attention, so cool.
I did a bunch of UI scripting. So in the left is how usually like a screen would look with all of its UI declaration, and it was very messy. So I did a bunch of scripting so that you can just, all of that can turn into those little lines, and it's way easier and more fun, and I love RunPy, you should use it.
And we finally have a mechanic that makes this game into an investigation game again, and we kind of forgot, so it was good to do this. And we'll just do a really quick run through of it. This is the only thing that we have left to talk about because that's really all we've done this week. But it's called the pitch mechanic, and the concept is that you are pitching theories with a group of characters, and you kind of have to direct the conversation because no one is good at that, and make sure that you can arrive at a conclusion, but it still has to be a viable one, at least with all the people that you're talking to. It has 3 parts: leading questions, the theories that come out of them, and the conclusions that you can make about them. So to start, we have a leading question here, whose signature is on the transaction. Don't worry about the context. And you click that, right, and then it creates a conversation until you come to the end of it, which is when you get a theory card based on all of the theories that the characters were talking about and bringing up. So in this case, it's like we have some names. And this is when we get player input and a lot of combination and reactivity because you can propose 1, 2, all, none, and get different responses out of them. And this alone is already like where we're going to start building puzzles based on combinations of things that you can suggest, how people feel about them, and whether it takes a conversation after the fact.
Yeah, I was just going to say, can you go back to the theories?
Okay.
It is important to note, like it says there, truth is complicated, especially without evidence. You're not a real detective, none of these characters are. So yes, it is all about exploring the truth, different angles to the truth, the avenues it can take, get more questions, etc., and make it a fun process for everyone. So yeah. Then you can get conclusions, which are what is actually on the board. So depending on the theory and the theories you've ruled out or the ones you take into account, different conclusions will show. So it's depending on the permutations that you do of the theories, different conclusions will arrive. We'll signal that to the player. And once you present them, you can see the characters discussing them and reaching like, okay, let's put this on the table, and they can start talking about it and discuss, and maybe that creates new questions. Maybe that creates Like it reveals some information, etc. And it can get very interesting because you can present multiple conclusions at once, and they can intersect.
The reasons we do this, it serves as a recap for the player. If they kind of are dropping in at the end of the chapter and then it's like, what the heck was I even investigating? It kind of goes over everything again. It emphasizes collaboration over opposition, which is more fitting for our story's themes. And it allows you to explore them freely and kind of get a sense of characters and what they feel about things without like any like grand consequence. But it still kind of makes you feel like you're being tested because there really are only like so many things that let the story continue. And Howie he's not a detective, as we said. He's not a logical genius. He's just kind of a guy doing a thing, and he's really just got to do the best he can do, and also he's a loser. So, questions?
Yeah.
Cheyenne.
Are you sure that Howie's a loser? Like, what?
Well, yes.
Well, yes.
I think it's been written in our. It's a thing.
It's like you can never show Sonic like without his shoes or something. Like
yeah, you can never show Howie winning.
He has to be a loser. Josh, you were second.
Will the system have any kind of failure states, success states? Is there like correct answers that the player will get out and they get feedback with that, or is it more of a self-organizational tool so you understand the story?
There are, like, for example, there are situations where sometimes you will present a theory, like a conclusion, and it's like, that is clearly the wrong one. Or the characters there will be like, come on, Howie, like, that's not it at all. So it's kind of Ace-Attorney that way, where it will explore that train of thought a little, but it will get shut down, because it's like, that's way too far. Yeah, there are correct answers, like Nate said.
Part of the thing here is that we had to shift the design purpose of this. Before it was like an oppositional thing that you could get wrong and then the story would continue. But now we're actually moving like away from that oppositional angle and actually putting that in a different part of the game. And so this is like, there aren't fail states, but we are going to explore like, maybe sometimes there are multiple ways to progress. Yeah. And that can drive things either good ways, bad ways, or maybe just sideways ways.
It is like something that we really want to keep in mind for this section, like the feeling, is that the people you are collaborating with in pitching the series, like the characters, you all have to arrive at a conclusion that makes sense for all of you. Mm. So there has to be a right answer, and that's the answer that everyone feels comfortable with. It is maybe not the objective truth. It is maybe the truth, but it's missing something. But everyone just has to agree. That's kind of the purpose of it.
Mike?
How much are you worried about branching narratives and the amount of content that needs to create? Because you have a lot of... I mean, I know Nate is a writing machine.
I would say this is designed deliberately to limit branching and encourage reactivity.
Yes, the main thing that prevents us from doing a lot of branching, and it was designed for, it's that you cannot like have multiple answers to a single mystery, right? There is a correct answer, and it is the answer to progress here. Yes, we will react to what you're presenting, and in that way we are like, okay, thinking of permutations, like how do these connect? But sometimes it is like, something is so outlandish or it really doesn't make no sense that there is a fallback dialogue branch that's like, come on, this doesn't make sense. But we are focusing a lot on reactivity without sacrificing, working on this for 15 years.
Yeah, we're not about that.
Yeah.
Joachim.
If I understand correctly from these discussions, you can get conclusions for the rest of the game, which are then objectives.
I'm sorry, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, from discussions, you get, like, conclusions? Is that correct?
Right, so, like, when you have a question on the board, right now how it works is you click the question, the characters talk about that question, and you get a list of theories, and then you, like, can plug in, like, any combination, like one or many or whatever, and based on that, like, a conclusion will get printed beneath that question, and it'll be whatever you plugged in. So it's like, oh, whose signature was it? If you said Christine, then it's going to say Christine signed it, and that's the conclusion that you put on the board. And then there'll be another button that's like, present this conclusion. And then when you present the conclusion, everyone talks about it. It's like, do they accept that? Do they like, okay, or do they need, does it create more questions, which it usually does, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, they all just last for this specific section. Like, consider it as what do you call it, like the capstone of a chapter,
Yeah.
or like at specific points, this will play, and it is the big detective collaboration moment.
Right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, for those who haven't seen it yet, I mean, I have, but for those who haven't, can you do a quick introduction of what the game is?
It's an Ace Attorney style investigation visual novel where the hook is you have to find out who you hooked up with at last night's party.
Gasp. Yes, it is that. And we don't have a lot of images, but maybe we should have the first one.
Not on this one.
Not on this. Do we have like? It would take too much time.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's not in that one.
I'm pretty sure it is though.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's in the other one.
This one?
No, yeah, in this. Yeah. No, wait, this is us.
Wait,
There. Wait, and that's the old sprite.
These are old. This is all old. What is wrong with you, Mauricio? It's
Okay,
this one.
This one.
It's the same pictures, Mauricio. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
That is the game, and you will see it someday.
Oh God, yeah. Anyone else? Yada.
Question from the chat. Can you select more than 2 theories?
Yes. You can select all of them. I mean, it depends on the question and whether or not it makes sense to do that. But like, yes, you can always do that and then see if it works.
You can always select more than 2.
Yeah.
You can select all of them, none of
Yeah.
them. You know, that is a valid answer.
Yes.
Is that it? Thank
Okay.
you.
Perfect.
Next up is Flan.
Hello. I'm going to talk today about Kottara 1996, a game that I'm making with Mariana, and we are being, and also Brian now, doing music. Our producer is Mariana's cat, Mitsuko. Mariana and Mitsuko will be back in the house on Sunday. And then we're going to release the game on Thursday, and then I'm going to go to England on Saturday, so it's kind of a crazy time. Yeah, I'm just going to show some pictures of, like, here's Mitsuko at the start of our, this is like one of the first pictures I found of, like, Mitsuko and Discord in the background, so it's like, we're almost working. This is the very first, well, it's not the very first, but it's like, this was a really early experiment where I was just rendering some 3D objects and trying to, like, do a pixel dithering shader, and it's all like, Mariana had presented some cool ideas, and I was like, what about this? And it was like, well, this doesn't really work, and also neither of us can do 3D, so whatever. I'm really just skipping through a lot of stuff, because I am really tired. I'm just doing the game, so I don't really have time to do a presentation, or, I don't know, the energy. So here's a year later. Mitsuko has been hard at work. Yeah, you can see she's been working on this, this new scene. There's just some random screenshots from the time. There was the time where I was really just fiddling around with lighting and, yeah, doing some really wacky stuff. Basically, we used some of this, but we really toned it down to the bare minimum of, like, the glow is very small and the shadows are very, like, it's just a curve that cuts through the scene. And, you know, it was fun to just go wild with shaders for a bit and then be like, no, let's just keep it simple. Meanwhile, Mariana was making beautiful artwork. I mean, this is a chair that's been destroyed. She had great fun, like, taking the nice chair sprite she'd done on the previous scene and then smashing it up, so, yeah. So, yeah, then I was going to do a sub-story, and then I'm gonna let you cook comes over here and does, like, oh, yeah, this has got no shoes, but... Mitsuko has had some dental work the other day, so I want everyone to be really nice to her when she comes back. And she's got to produce us and release a game this week, so or next week. So yeah, she's had a few teeth out. Just be nice to her, you know. And you know, wishlist our game on Steam. It's not like we're gonna buy her new teeth, but just I don't know. I didn't come up with anything for this, but you know, look at her. And just yeah, here's some more screenshots of like. This looks chaotic at a glance, but actually it's like, this is an overview of the notebook, and this is just, I just had to pick out some random screenshots I've been sending in the last few days, and this is like, we now have like a view of like what your full-ish notebook looks like. Some of the stuff doesn't show up because we swap it out occasionally, which is a bit weird for a notebook, but whatever. But yeah, this is just like a ton of all of our, like going from like when we first started doing these triggers for like, hey, when this happens, do this, and it kind of, I guess this was the end goal we were always going to, is like a complete mess of triggers pointing at each other, and like UI objects and stuff, but it feels good that it's actually all like this, all of this is here for a reason, and it all sort of comes together to bring the game together. And meanwhile, while I've been doing, I don't know, nodes and stuff, Mariana's been making lovely artwork. So here's a sneak peek of the new scene. I'm also not showing too much of like video or screenshots of the new stuff because it's secret. You've got to play the game to find out. So it's a week to release. I know there's a game jam going on, but we're going to have a little event on Thursday. Hopefully you can just spare, I don't know, 10 minutes, just come over and say hi, and we'll press the button live, and there won't be an SGDC, I think, so we'll be doing that kind of in the SGDC slot. Haha, SGDC takeover. So yeah, but what you can do now, oh, don't say 6 days, it's like 6 days and 23 hours or something. It's 7 days, 7. Yes, if you wishlist it, that helps the algorithm. If when we release it, you buy it and review it, that helps the algorithm even more. Yeah, that's the things you're supposed to say, isn't it? I don't know. There you go. You can also play the demo right now. And can you review demos? I don't know. Do the algorithm things, please, and Mitsuko will be very happy. Questions? Marika.
The party, will it be at 8 and will we press the button, and are there any other plans?
It will be at 7, just to be awkward. No, because Mitsuko has to have her medicine in the evening, so we didn't want to do 8. That's the reason it's 7. So yeah, it's sort of SGDC time. Yeah, I don't really have plans. Probably try and get some sort of cake, because cake is good. Yes.
So you were talking about lighting and shaders, but the game looked 2D to me. Are you doing it in 2D, or is it like 3D assets looking like projected as if it's a 2D image?
So we basically binned the 3D approach pretty soon. So we have we call it like a 2. Wait, what?
2.5D?
Huh?
2.5D?
Sort of. It's like, well, no, it's almost like it's 2. Yeah, kind of 2.5D. It's when you have like something like Roller Coaster Tycoon, you have like a projected in 3 axes, I guess. But actually, no, you have an isometric projection. We wanted to do a bit more perspective and get a good feel of the objects, but then we realized that like, if we have different perspectives in different scenes, an object you put somewhere, you can't really put it somewhere else. So we went with this like flattened. It's kind of isometric, but it's sort of instead of looking down, it's orthographic. So everything is squashed flat to one side. There's no perspective applied to it, so we can put the same item anywhere in the scene, and it works anywhere. The downside is that we can't really look into things or like over things, and we can't sort of say like, oh, this drawer could be like pulled down, and then you can see inside the drawer. If we do, there's a good example. If we want to look into something, we have to make a separate scene for it, because you've basically got no height. We've basically leveled everything on the same Y level, is same pixel height. So yeah, and then the shaders, yeah, they're just like, we actually do some things that are like sub-pixel, but it's just lighting really. So we have like perfect pixel art with sub-pixel lighting and then glow, it was based on some pixel art we found as reference, and we were like, oh, this is really nice to do the pixel art and then go a little bit like After Effects. Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, I'm actually going to steal here and do this. So for those who don't know me, I am Josh. Many do. We're making a dice game. It's been Steam Next Fest. I want to share you all the cool numbers, but we don't get them yet, so we have to wait. And first I want to say thank you so much. There's a lot of people in the house who's been playing and reviewing the last couple of days, and it's really lovely to see. So just thank you all. You're amazing. And if you want to play the demo, don't, because we're looking for beta testers to play the full game. So we're soon releasing, and James will remind me weekly how the entire house will fall together if I don't make money. So help me make money for the house by playtesting. So we need people to test the full game, give us some feedback, some responses, and you'll get a credit in the game and early access and maybe a free copy if we can convince James, but that's like a little bit back and forth. For those who don't know, it's a dice game where you roll dice to use them in combat, and it has a bunch of anime elements and strategy and tactics, and you make your own noble family at the same time, and it's weird, maybe. And help me figure out, this is sound, I don't want it to have sound, why stuff like this is happening. If you find this cool to figure out, or you can help me figure out what's going on screens where things are just exploding and all the enemies. Sorry? Oh, but if you make it too big, then there's spoilers and stuff. But there's a lot of confusing stuff, and if you like filling out surveys, go find this guy on Discord and write to me, or come talk to me, and then I'll get you in. Any questions? Oh, one more thing. The only thing we ask is anybody who plays the game promise to play through it within 3 weeks, because we're launching mid to late July, and we need feedback, and we want to do like at least 2 waves of like people playtesting.
How many playtesters?
Kind of a little bit how many we can get. I think we're going to take some from our community, some from the house, and then some friends and stuff like that, and then we'll kind of mix and match and see.
How long do you think it will take to play through?
I don't know yet, but I think the full game will be between 15 to 20 hours, depending on how long you think each turn. And part of what we need to figure out is how long should the game be, because I can just make it arbitrarily grindy.
I literally had the same questions.
Right.
Was it just right to you? Or
Yeah, just write to me or talk to me or wave at me from far away. Yeah, that was it. Nothing more. Thank you so much.
I think this was the last public talk, I guess. Yes. So, end of the streams. I don't know how to end the stream, so I will say, as I say with my countries, like, bonne nuit et à plus. J'en sais rien.